Thanks. Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining us this afternoon or morning, wherever you are around the world. We are here today to talk about the soft side of Agile product ownership and why is the soft side so important to making this role successful. So first, I want to provide a quick overview on what is Agile product ownership. And who the product owner is the person on the Agile team who determines what gets built and in what order. And typically, this is somebody on the business side or product management side of the organization, someone who can truly represent the customer needs. When we determine in Agile what gets built and in what order, it's all about the increments of value, meaning something of value to the end customer. So we're not looking at what's the most technically efficient way to build something, but what are those little pieces of value that can be chunked out and delivered to the team and to the customers. So an Agile product owner is a key team member of the team. So they're typically on the team with a Scrum Master or Iteration Manager, and they work with the team closely day by day. It's a super important role. In fact, I would definitely say without this role, your project success in Agile is very, very, very limited. And the picture that you see on the screen is what I call the 3 pillars of product ownership. And there are 3 pillars that I've developed to really explain what product ownership is, and I have a whole ebook at the end I have a free link to you can download about these 3 pillars. And so these 3 pillars are really what it takes to fulfill the role successfully. And it includes value and value thinking, so really thinking about everything from a customer value perspective, a ruthless focus on value. Pillar is decisions and making decisions. So how do we make decisions as a product owner, and how do we involve others to get the best decisions made? And then engagement, being engaged with the team day in and day out. So let's talk a little bit more about these 3 pillars where the soft side comes in. Engagement and being engaged with the team, facilitating high-impact meetings and dialogue. So if we think about the product owner as the person who's determining what the team works on, it's all about working with the team, technical, users, matter experts, and customers to really understand the value proposition of the product or solution, the vision, keeping the vision front and center with the team and being engaged on a regular basis, and understanding those features and backlog items and what value they truly bring in order to prioritize them. Imagine this requires a ton of soft skills, and we'll go over what some of those are in detail next. Decision making. A product owner needs to be available to make decisions, so this piggybacks on the engagement side of things. They've got to be available to make decisions and be able to make them and be empowered to make them. You know, it's very common on a lot of Agile teams that are just starting out that a product owner isn't fully dedicated to the team. And some of the ways teams fix that would be to put a technical person in the product owner role, and that can be potentially dangerous as well. So it's interesting, I know, as you're listening to this, thinking, wow, how can the product owner really be that engaged all the time? And what I can say is without that, you're really going to compromise the results that you can get as a team. So our 3rd pillar is value, and putting value first, and what value means to users and the customer, not necessarily what value means to the team. So it's really putting a different empathetic and compassionate side in thinking about what's actually valuable. And a lot of it has to do with experimenting and prototyping versus data analysis. So it means really collaborating together and saying, you know what, let's test out the market a little bit. Let's test out something on our users. Let's show them something in demo and prototype, or sit around forever and talk about it, making decisions that might not be right in huge plans. Ownership comes in quite a bit. It's a very, very important part of the role. And one of the main overwhelming and prominent tasks that a product owner has on an Agile team is building the backlog. And a lot of our Agile practices or methodologies that you may be familiar with really don't have enough focus on getting from a vision to a backlog. A lot of our common methodologies in Agile might just say, well, you start with a backlog and just create a backlog. That's what you need to start. And really where I come at it from is the most important part is getting a backlog that means something. I want to make sure our backlog is meaningful and valuable, not just a bunch of ideas that we just chip off first in, first out. It's what's the order of the things that we work on? What are the priorities and what means the most? What a backlog that's refined to customer value, teams tend to crank through a backlog quickly, but potentially 60 to 80% of what they build isn't valued by users or needs rework because it's just not right. So the product owner can have a huge impact. In fact, most teams that I work with, over half of the backlog gets taken away and removed once we really analyze it for customer value. You know, teams will find things like, well, I don't even know what this item is in the backlog, and nobody can answer the question what it is and how it benefits somebody. Or a bunch of items in the backlog are, well, someone thought it would be a good idea, really tied it to the strategy of the organization, strategic alignment, goals, objectives, or what it does for the customer to achieve those objectives. So that's a really, really big job to take on, and that's why the product owner role is so important and takes on so much time required to get it done. Refining this backlog is absolutely huge to make sure we just don't build crap faster. So we don't want the team to wonder if what they're building actually matters. We really want the team to feel like they're building stuff that matters to the customers, matters to the business, and is aligned strategically. And that's the importance of building the backlog. Really take to get from a vision to a backlog? What does it take to do this? And it requires some very, very deep soft skills indeed. Agile is all about maximizing the quality of the conversation and interactions of the team members and as the team members work together. It's about getting the right dialogue to get the Agile process working well. So product owners need really, really, really amazing, strong skills in facilitation. And this means facilitating extremely collaborative meetings that really allow vulnerability to come out, use silence strategically, get dialogue at a fierce level, meaning dialogue that really matters, where people are totally engaged and multitasking just isn't happening because of the way we're facilitating the meeting to include everybody and to strategically use tactics in meetings that avoid that multitasking and truly get everyone involved. It also involves listening at a totally different level, right? Not just listening to hear, but listening to truly understand the intent and the emotions behind what people are talking about. And that is one of the critical pieces of really truly understanding what is valuable and keeping that top of mind over anything else as a product owner. Products also have this amazing, amazing skill to communicate complex concepts. So this could be by using visual thinking and visuals to communicate something complex, and it can also be by how we break down the information to get it out to others when we're communicating, empathizing with where is our audience at the time and what information do they need to get them from point A to point B. These skills become really, really critical when we're working in the change environment, the fast pace of change, the changing priorities, and really bringing everybody along on our product ownership journey and getting them on board. Think about what a product vision is to start off. If we're trying to get from a product vision to a backlog as a product owner, a product vision is absolutely essential. And the role of the product owner is to create, facilitate, and communicate this vision. Now, sometimes that vision for the product might already be done previously or from levels above, but let's look at the journey that it takes to get from a vision to a backlog and the product owner's role in that. If the vision isn't